Hello, my name is Sarah. I am an English teacher and language anxiety coach, and welcome to lesson 3 in the 5-day Think Positive Speaking Challenge. Now, in this lesson, we're going to look at something which is really, really important, and that is the difference between practicing accuracy and practicing fluency. Now, when I was a lot younger than I am now, I went to a very, very specialised music college. And this was like being at university, but it was only music and the focus was on performing. So although we had some written work to do, most of the time I was in a very small room on my own with a piano. And I might have spent 3 or 4 or 5 hours a day, every day, practicing the piano. Now, some of the pieces that I learnt were very, very difficult, and they would take me months, maybe 8 or 9 months, to be able to play. And when I was learning these pieces of music, I had to take very small sections and practice them again and again and again, because I couldn't go from the beginning to the end. So I worked very carefully, making sure that I knew which finger was going to play on what note. I practiced and practiced the little bits again and again and again and again, and then every so often I would try and play a bigger section. Probably it wasn't very good, but I think it was just I needed a break from all that really focused accuracy. Now, when you learn an instrument, and particularly a very complicated instrument like the piano, you have to do a lot of accuracy practice. So that's the small sections again and again and again and again. And then every so often you do a bigger section and you don't worry if it's good or bad or about the mistakes. That's your fluency practice. Now, I think language learning is very, very similar. You need times when you do this accuracy work and you repeat something again and again and again because you want to improve it. But you also need times where you forget all that and you just focus on communicating and on your fluency. Now, the problem is that most language learners are not aware of this distinction, and therefore many language learners think they should be 100% accurate and 100% fluent at all times. This is not really possible, and it causes a lot of stress and worry, especially in situations like exams, where you know the examiner is marking you on your mistakes, but you also know that you have to be fluent, and this creates a real problem, because how do you find that balance between both? Too much focus on accuracy and your fluency will drop. So let's look at when you should focus on accuracy. Now, accuracy is important when you are really trying to learn something specific, and that word specific is important. So you need accuracy practice when you are learning a specific grammar point, practicing a specific aspect of pronunciation, working on a specific exam task, learning a specific set of new vocabulary. All of these things have got one focus, and therefore in your practice you can repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and make sure that information is clear and deep in your mind. Now, focusing on fluency on the other hand, is quite different. When you focus on fluency, it's not that you don't care if you make mistakes, but it's just that the mistakes are not as important as being able to speak in a fluent way. So times that you might work on your fluency include when you want to apply something you have learnt to your speaking in general. So let's say you've been learning past tenses, narrative tenses, and you're clear. You know, you've done all the grammar exercises, you've written a story for your teacher, and you want to see how well you can use them. That's when you want to go for some fluency practice, because you will see how much can you use that grammar in your speaking. You might do fluency practice if you want to check your pronunciation overall. How is it going? Have I improved since 2 months ago? You might do fluency work in a conversation with someone. No one likes to have a conversation when the other person is because they're trying to remember the third conditional. So in conversations, it's all about fluency. And the other time when fluency is really important is in any kind of performance. So whether that's an exam, a presentation, or an interview, in those times fluency is far more important than accuracy. I know, confrontational idea. So let's look at how you can practice these two different parts of speaking. So how can you practice accuracy? When you practice accuracy, you can take things really slowly and really carefully. There is no rush. Okay? You might need to do a lot of repetition to get something right. That's okay. I don't think language learners repeat things enough. Repetition is good. It gets things clear in your mind and makes it more likely that you will remember. So you might practice a specific bit of grammar by doing grammar exercises, written exercises, and speaking tasks that are very, very narrow. So, for example, if you're learning the present perfect, you might get together with a partner and talk about your life experiences. Have you ever? Yeah? Oh, I haven't, but I have done this. So keeping things really focused. Course books are great for this because course books are all about teaching grammar and vocabulary. They give you a lot of very, very focused practice exercises. Another way that you can practice accuracy if you're working on pronunciation is by literally drilling it. You know, I work with students on their pronunciation. They don't practice enough. Okay, if you are trying to learn the difference between E and I, you need lists of words: sheep, ship, heat, hit, beat, bit, and you need to practice them every day, twice a day, for a week or two. That's accuracy work. If you are learning vocabulary, you might put your vocabulary words on flashcards and repeat them every day for 2 weeks until they are in your head. If you are doing a speaking exam, you might work on a specific speaking task every day for a week or 2 or a month. That's accuracy practice, and it's very important. Let's look at fluency and see what fluency practice involves. So fluency is the opposite of accuracy, and when you're practicing fluency, you want to be focusing on the big picture. You're not worrying about specific details anymore. You need to kind of zoom out and just trust that all of that accuracy work has been enough and that you know enough to do the task well. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be enough. So if you've been working on that specific grammar, you might then go and have a conversation with someone and see if you can work it into your conversation. This is something you can do with your teacher. Hey, I've been revising the present perfect. Can we have a chat about what's happened in the last week? and get a little bit of speaking practice, okay? But zooming out, focusing on the big picture. If you've been working on your pronunciation, you might record yourself, but talking about your day or talking about your pet or talking about something big. And then when you listen, see how well have you internalized the I, or whatever it was you were practicing. If you've been working on vocabulary, now is your time to start trying to use it in a conversation with friends or colleagues or your teacher. If you have a teacher, say to them, you know, I've been learning this list of words. I'm going to try and use it in my lesson today. Can you just check and make sure I use it okay? That's a great way to work with your teacher. And if you've been working on an exam task, maybe try and do the whole exam, maybe have a go with your teacher, or maybe just forget it for a bit and come back later. Sometimes it's good to take a rest. Now, when we come to exams and any kind of performing, fluency is more important than accuracy. Your accuracy work for exams must be done in your preparation time. On the day of the exam, you cannot worry about accuracy. You've got to just focus on conveying your message to the examiner. This then ties up with the last lesson in this course, which is all about a communication mindset. But the point for you today is to remember accuracy work before fluency. When you're doing your fluency work, don't worry about accuracy. So your challenge for this lesson is to choose one thing you'd like to improve. One thing, whether that's grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, a specific speaking task. Choose a way to practice it for accuracy and then a way to practice for fluency. Please feel free to leave some thoughts and ideas below. I'm very happy to give you some feedback or give you some suggestions. Now, you are welcome to watch these videos on YouTube. They're all in this playlist. They're all here for you. If you'd like to get the downloadable PDF lesson that goes with the video, please click on the link in the description or go to my YouTube banner and click on the button. You'll get emails from me every day with a downloadable PDF and links to these videos. It's completely free, you don't have to pay. Any comments, any questions, of course, leave them below. I'm always happy to hear from you. Good luck with your third speaking challenge, and I am looking forward to seeing you tomorrow when we talk about giving yourself positive feedback. Bye-bye.